Hi, this is Andrew coming to you from Realty Now Property Management here in Cleveland, Ohio. Thank you for coming back and watching some more of our videos. If this is your first video, welcome. If it's not your first video, we appreciate you coming back. Please hit that subscribe and the like button. It helps us out here. And hopefully we can continue to inform you about property management, the Cleveland market, and other things that are relevant to your investment properties. So one of the questions that we frequently get, like most of the questions that we're answering here, is in regards to our screening process and what an appropriate screening process includes. So I want to walk you through what we do and how that communication works with the tenants, and then a little bit about how we actually evaluate applications. So once we've actually gone through, and we're not going to discuss the showing process and the leasing process, we're going to skip straight ahead. Somebody is interested in this unit, they've gone through the process of filling out and completing an application, asks for personal details, social security, income, birth date, driver's license number, where they currently live, where they lived before that, references, have they have any criminal activity in their history, have they been evicted before, have they had a bankruptcy. So we get that application as well as supporting documentation. The supporting documentation that we ask for is their income statements. So we are looking for something. If they're an independent contractor, it could be bank statements showing the deposits. If they're a W-2 employee, we'd be looking for pay stubs. If they're on Social Security, we'd be looking for that documentation. Something to validate that they make, and in our case, we look for 3 times the rent in income. So that means that if rent is $1,000, we would look for a gross income of $3,000. So that is our first and our most hard criteria, is that we are looking for that income qualification. Once we've reviewed that application and see that the application has the minimum income, then we'll move ahead and we'll actually process and complete a full background check. Now the tenant pays for the background check, or I should say that the applicant pays for the background check. The background check that we do is through a national background check provider. We don't go through and look through county records and check eviction court dockets. We rely on these national vendors, which is the generally accepted practice in our industry. So when we run that, we get back a number of different things, including we get back criminal, we get back their credit report, we get back a civil listing, have they ever had an eviction filed against them, we get back their sex offender status, and we get back how many times their credit's been run recently. Once we take all these things, it helps us kind of form a picture of this person's financial outlook. There's a number of different things and different information that's provided there, and I don't believe that I'm allowed to share sample reports on YouTube, so I'm going to keep any sample reports out of this video. But what we're looking there, and we can see how many credit accounts they have open, how many have been closed, what was their on-time payment history like. So for example, we can see, have they been paying all their bills really well, and then last month, it actually color codes it. Everything's nice and green, and then last month everything turned yellow. It's now 30 days late. If we see that everything turned yellow last month, and they're now applying for a new place to live, alarm bells are going off for us. What is going on with this person? Why did everything go late at once? And they're planning on moving. They're probably in some sort of a financial crisis or situation that we don't want to get involved in. Their credit might still be actually relatively high. Those late payments haven't had time to really knock down their credit score. But we could see that somebody is currently going into a situation that we may want to avoid. Conversely, somebody who has a lower credit score that, maybe at the beginning of COVID, maybe something happened, maybe there's an event like a divorce where there might have been some missed payments in their not too distant past, but maybe let's say a year to 2 years out. And the last 12 months has been 100% on time, and they've actually been rebuilding their credit, and they've been working hard, and they show current income that they've been at the job for a little while. Between those two people, the person on the upswing might be who we'd prefer. That being said, we do look at the applications in totality. The combination of the criminal, the credit, all of that. If somebody's a sex offender, that's an automatic weed out for us. If somebody has an extensive criminal record that we believe that they're a danger to us, to the property, to their neighbors, that we can't work with them, that could be a weed out. If their credit is very low, even if they've got no criminal issues, that could be a weed out. So we kind of look at that, and we use the term total credit worthiness. So we're not looking for a specific score number. It's not 600 you're accepted and 599 you're not. We're looking at what's kind of behind that, along with how long did you live at your last home. We may choose to call your current landlord as a reference. I will caution that calling the current landlord as a reference isn't always a great reference, because if that tenant stinks, they might not want to tell us the truth. They may want to get rid of that tenant. So we could be getting bad information from a prior landlord, so we do kind of discount the value of that information. If you can get 2 landlords to go, that's good information, because they don't have anything to gain or lose by telling you the truth. So, but that's an if. We don't always get that information. So we go through that, and once we can validate their income, their credit, what their situation is, and that we believe that they're going to be a good candidate, then we would move forward and approve them. Now that jumps back to the leasing process, which I'm going to avoid today, but once somebody is approved, then that goes back, and we attempt then to get them to bring in a security deposit and move them on towards actually moving into the unit. But for the purposes of today's video, I think that kind of gives you a good idea of what we're doing in screening, what we're looking at, how the criteria are kind of evaluated. Again, we're not giving hard numbers today and saying this is and this is not accepted, just to give you an overview of how we're viewing this, and trying to make sense of who we want to be in those units. To a certain extent, it's an investment for us too, because if we put the wrong person in, Realty Now Property Management is also going through those struggles with you as the owner. So if you have any questions about this or any of our other videos, please feel free to reach out. You can get my contact information from the details below, and make sure to like and subscribe. Again, Realty Now Property Management, taking care of all your property management needs here in the greater Cleveland market. Thank you.